Hello, my friends and viewers. Today, I want to tell you a story that relates to human behavior and psychology within just daily life of people. It's the story of the Pied Piper. There was once a man called the Pied Piper. He dressed really fancy and he played a pipe. And he could hypnotize and enchant animals or people to follow behind him when he played his flute. So one day there was a town that had a plague of frogs in it, and there was frogs everywhere, jumping in through everyone's businesses and houses and everything. So they hired this man who came through and claimed that he could get rid of the plague for them. He played his flute and walked towards the water, and all the frogs lined up behind him. And he walked in the water, and all the frogs walked in with him and drowned. Is how it goes. Or they went into the water and stayed there or something. I don't know. Frogs can live in water, right? But anyways, they drowned because they couldn't breathe under there. So forgive my lack of knowing the story perfectly. But anyways, after that, he came back to the town and wanted his money because he said he would do it for, say, like $1,000 or something in our day. Not much money, he just wanted some money to get by on. And the town officials and mayors laughed at him and said they weren't going to pay him after they said they would. So he got angry and stormed away. So the Pied Piper walked through the town and started playing his flute, another song. And all the children of all the mayors and officials and all the people in the town, all the children in the entire village, started following behind the Pied Piper. And they were hypnotized and entranced by his music, and they were following behind him in a line. And he walked into a dark cave, and the cave shut up on them forever. And that's the story of the Pied Piper. He got his revenge on townspeople who did him wrong. But where I want to go with this is that's music today leads many on a bad mind path to bad places, because you'll listen to music and assume the identity of the messages within it and go along with the beat and start nodding to it like you're accepting it and going with it, when the music could be teaching a very destructive and bad lifestyle, So for instance, like Drake's music, okay? Drake, he looks cool, he has a clubby bro type personality, always talks smooth, but what is he talking about in his music? He'll say something like, he'll talk about God and things like that. Like, he'll be like, God's plan, and I'm giving money away, but next thing I'm doing is having sex with all your daughters in the town. And how does that go together? You know what I mean? How does that go together? It doesn't. I don't judge him for what he does, that's his life, but don't follow his way just because he does what he does, And it's not just about money and arrogance and pride, like wanting to look a certain way. You don't want to walk around as a muse. Think about this. Music, the root word of music is muse. You're musing over a rhythm. You're musing over something. Music. So you make an idol out of it. out of that what you want to be in your music. So, with that being said, just be careful. And there's also others like that sing about sex and drugs and partying, and like The Weeknd. He entertains a very dark path. Like in one of his videos, he licked a frog, and he was like tripping on psychedelics, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas type style. But if you actually do that, remember Aaron Rodriguez, I think was his name? Is it Aaron Rodriguez? Or Aaron, not Rodriguez, can't remember his name. He was a football player, but he was tripping on MDMA and went on a downward spiral and just did some crazy stuff and ended up in prison and then killed himself because of one bad party night, you know? So what destructive music are you listening to? This man, Aaron, had his whole life ahead of him. He was a football player. Has the same name as me, but Aaron Hernandez, I think is what his name was, maybe. But if he would have been influenced better and would have lived a healthier life, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But like the Pied Piper, there was music coming out. There was a way in the world he was following. There was a pattern he was marching to. So just be careful to march to the beat of your own drum and no one else's. And with that said, keep in step with the Spirit of God, not men's. Because anyone can give acknowledgement to God. It says even the demons tremble and believe in Him. So, you'll know a tree by its fruit. And saying these things about The Weeknd and Drake and other artists, you know who they are, who say it's okay to live a destructive, drug addict, sexually immoral lifestyle and boast about riches and fame. You know, I've been there myself. I've wanted to be like that before. I can't judge them, you know. And I say that none of us judge them, but we just look at things for what they are and not follow into a trap. I grew up listening to those people, riding around in my cars and doing my thing, you know. Thought it was so cool, but it took me to some bad places, you know. So anyways, just remember the story of the Pied Piper. I think it is a good metaphor. Praise Jesus. Be thankful always. Don't be arrogant or prideful. Hate evil. Keep the commandments. Love your neighbor. And of course, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And don't lose your soul to the ways of this world. Love you guys.